Well, I tell you what, he was back in the cockpit the next week with a new call sign. Swamp Thang. New call sign. I asked him inside the Oval what it was like, but I'll tell you about that later. Calvert, Representative Calhoun, Calhoun's not here, McCollum. And I want to thank you all.
Should Congress and President Biden both be in D.C. this weekend?
Look, and I've got this question. I can only speak for the president. I can't speak for the speaker and how he chooses to move forward with Congress. What I can say is that the president could deal with this issue anywhere he is, and so I'll just leave it as that. The way that we see it, it aims to the court's decision today aims to take our country backwards. It will jeopardize the sources of clean drinking water for farmers, businesses, and millions of Americans. Look, the Clean Water Act is the reason why America's lakes today are swimmable, why we can fish in our streams and rivers, and why safe drinking water comes out of our taps. So,
when you say that default is not an option, is that equal to guaranteeing that there will be a deal, or is there a viable plan B?
So what I can say is this is the only option that we have is for Congress to do its job, for Congress to deal with the debt limit. That's the only option in front of us. That is the best option for the American people. That's the best way to make sure that our economy doesn't get turned on its head, that we don't get a situation where we potentially lose up to 8 million jobs or devastate retirement accounts. That is not an option. So we're being consistent here. We've been saying that they need to do their job. It is their constitutional duty. It's been done 78 times since 1960. That's what we're saying. As it relates to the budget negotiation, those are continuing. We want to make sure that gets done as soon as possible as well. It is important for the American people to see what we value and what we see in a bipartisan way that we're going to present to the American people, clearly also to Congress, so that it can get both Democrat and Republican votes.
So if there is not a deal, there is no plan B?
What I can say is the only option right now is for Congress to do their jobs without conditions. That is the way that we need to move forward as it relates to the debt limit.
Has the president spoken with Speaker McCarthy since their meeting on Tuesday?
I don't have a call to preview for you at this time.
Okay. Well, why haven't they talked?
The president is giving negotiators the space and the time to negotiate. We see their conversation as being productive. I can let you know, and some of you may already know this, they met virtually. The negotiators on both sides met virtually at 11:30 this morning, and we see this as a productive conversation, and it's moving forward in hopefully in the path where we would see a bipartisan, reasonable budget negotiation.
Fitch, a credit rating agency, has already put the U.S. in a credit negative watch. That's one domino that needs to fall before a downgrade. The president's going to Camp David this weekend, going to Delaware. Can you describe the sense of urgency that the president feels to get a deal done?
There's always been urgency. We've called this out over and over again, how urgent it is to get this done.
Elon Musk is offering this platform to a potential leading Republican candidate for the office. Would the president consider doing the same on that same platform?
So look, I'm not going to speak to Twitter and their operation as a private company. Just not going to do that from here. As you know, we follow the law here. This is an administration that cares about the law and about certainly not using taxpayer money to campaign from here. That is something that we've been pretty consistent.